myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Here basically we are discussing one topic, that is related to 1 kilogram sand basically. In this basically we are discussing one topic that is related to war. One person told that in first world war basically, how many caste basically was created? And in here basically one of the person told that basically why in India basically this type of creation always happen basically. Why in India basically, how many caste basically was created? That is First World War basically. And in First World War basically, how many caste basically data was created basically. Caste means how many people basically was created. People means after died basically. For example, in First World War 20 crore people died. 20 crore people died. So these 20 crore people basically converts to human clones. And here basically 10% population, 10% data are from 10% data basically are taken for India purpose. Means this 10% people are going to join India country basically. Means going to join India country. Means joined basically. So it's like that basically. So same way basically, First World War basically, how many caste basically was created from that 10%? Because 10% if they are taken, then basically there might be many caste basically which might be created basically. Many caste will be there basically which might be created basically. China and India war also basically was happened. So from there also basically many caste basically was created basically. So one of the person told that basically how many caste basically are created basically, and how basically they are getting used basically by Indian government basically, by the Indian government who are basically sitting in Delhi basically, and who is basically using it, and which computers basically are controlling that particular people basically. That is the population of human clone basically which is created by that. Also folder basically we will create which human clones which computer basically or which software company created this human clones. Same way basically in Second World War also basically. Second World War also. Second World War also. So it's the same way basically how basically everything was created basically. And here basically the Microsoft group basically takes few data from that human clone also. That is the rules basically. that if war is going to happen basically and has happened basically, then from that basically certain level of data basically you have, the software industry also have to take basically. Why? Because software industry is connected with the whole world basically. So whatever objects basically which are connected with the whole world basically, they have to take certain level of data basically. That is the rule basically. That is the rule of the universe basically. So in this basically software industry is there, army groups also basically takes the data. Then basically the software companies also, in the software companies basically if you will search the data, there are lots of data basically which are collected by First World War, Second World War, Kargil War, China India War basically. Many data will be there basically. You will not able to track that basically this person basically is from First World War data. You can't track basically. It's not possible to track also basically, because it's a human clone na basically. It looks like same as human basically, but is controlled by softwares that are basically the robot software basically. That you can say it's like this basically. tells robot creation. This is basically that. This is that basically. So it's like that basically. So you can just imagine basically the creation basically. So Microsoft telling that basically they have created, and this whole thing basically we have discussed. RDX also basically, if entire building is basically covered with the RDX, then also it will not blast the 100-foot area also basically. Without basically the power supply company data basically, the blast is not going to happen for 2-3 kilometer routes, and that 2 kilometer basically are decided by the power company basically, how many area you want to blast basically. So that is basically the RDX code basically. So this power company only basically gives that RDX data to mafia group, or basically you can say to the other than group basically who handles everything basically, because currently war is happening basically. So they are mafia's group basically. They are soldiers no basically. They are not mafia basically. They are mafia basically. No, they are soldier group basically. They are soldier group. They are basically soldier group basically. How many people basically are killed basically in war basically? In Kargil basically how many people killed? In China India war basically how many people killed? So they are criminals basically. They are soldiers basically. So this group basically are handled by some other group basically. Who are that group basically? That need to investigate basically. So medicine created, disease created. According to disease, the medicine. Disease created means automatically gets created basically. When the Microsoft blood cells basically gets processed inside the body with the other blood cells basically, that automatically gets created basically. But they are basically prepared basically that these all things basically are going to create. So you have to be aware about that basically. So medical basically, medicines groups are already created basically. So Rocky Talkie basically. So you can just imagine basically up to what level things basically are connected basically. More than 100 types of Rocky Talkies are created. Lots of people say that Rocky Talkie is controlling the entire ideas basically. For example, one person told that basically, Sunil, your basically head basically has damage. So that also basically might be done some from one of the Rocky Talkie device line basically. So can you find out that Rocky Talkie device line basically? Then basically Sunil Narnair told that basically no basically I don't think basically I can found basically. That is impossible basically. How basically I can found basically. So in next video basically we are going to see how basically Sunil will track basically that Rocky Talkie, which Rocky Talkie basically was used, and how basically they attacked Sunil Nair's hand basically, not head basically.